Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we dive into a major political and economic development in South Africa. The African National Congress, ANC, and the Democratic Alliance, DA, are reportedly close to finalizing a crucial economic deal that could shape the country's future. This potential agreement, if successful, will have a direct impact on South Africa's economic policies, government spending, and even the balance of power within the Government of National Unity. As the deadline for the national budget vote approaches, both parties are under immense pressure to find common ground. If they fail, South Africa could face economic uncertainty, and the fragile unity government could experience its first major crisis. But if they succeed, this deal could mark an unprecedented level of cooperation between two historic rivals, one that might define the country's political landscape for years to come. Now, before we get into the details, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest political updates. And as always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this alliance can actually work, or will their ideological differences prove too great to overcome? Now, let's break it down. A historic agreement in the making. The ANC and DA are South Africa's two biggest political parties, but they have fundamentally different views on governance. The ANC, as the ruling party since 1994, has traditionally advocated for state-led development, higher public spending, and social welfare programs to address inequality. The DA, on the other hand, champions a market-driven approach, favoring private sector growth, fiscal discipline, and reducing government expenditure. Despite these differences, the two parties were forced into an uneasy partnership after the 2024 elections produced no outright majority. Now, as part of the Government of National Unity, GNU, they must cooperate to ensure stability. The national budget vote is their first major test. If they fail to pass it, it could trigger economic instability, and even threaten the GNU itself. Sources say negotiations between the ANC and DA have intensified in recent weeks. Both sides realize the stakes are too high for a budget deadlock, so they are reportedly working on compromises that could allow the bill to pass smoothly. The key issues at stake. One of the biggest sticking points is government spending on social programs. The ANC insists on maintaining strong social safety nets, including grants, subsidies, and free basic services for millions of disadvantaged South Africans. The DA, while not completely opposed to social welfare, is more concerned about the size of the public sector. They argue that uncontrolled spending could increase the national debt and slow economic growth. Another point of contention is economic reform and job creation. South Africa faces a massive unemployment crisis, with millions of people, especially youth, unable to find jobs. The ANC favors state intervention, supporting government-led initiatives such as public works programs, while the DA believes in creating an investor-friendly environment to stimulate private sector employment. And then, there's the issue of national debt management. South Africa's debt-to-GDP ratio has been rising steadily, raising concerns about long-term economic sustainability. The DA wants strict fiscal discipline, proposing cuts to unnecessary government expenditure. The ANC, however, believes that increased government investment is necessary to stimulate the economy, even if it means borrowing more in the short term. A deal taking shape. Despite these differences, both parties seem willing to make concessions. Reports indicate that the ANC is open to reducing wasteful government expenditure, while the DA is considering limited increases in social spending to address poverty and unemployment. If an agreement is reached, it would be a significant moment in South African politics, showing that, despite their long-standing rivalry, the ANC and DA can cooperate for the sake of national stability. But make no mistake, this is not just about economics. A deal like this has huge political implications. For the ANC, Securing DA support means proving that the GNU is functional and that they can still lead South Africa without alienating their traditional voter base. For the DA, it's an opportunity to influence national policy in a way that was previously impossible. But it's also a risk. Will their supporters see this as a pragmatic move, or as a betrayal of their core principles? The bigger picture. South Africans will be watching closely to see how this unfolds. Will this be the start of a more stable, cooperative government? Or is this just a temporary truce that will collapse under the weight of ideological clashes? This deal, if finalized, could be the first step towards a broader economic recovery plan. South Africa is facing serious challenges: high unemployment, struggling state-owned enterprises, and an energy crisis that continues to hamper growth. A unified approach from the government could help restore investor confidence and set the country on a more sustainable path. But if the ANC and DA fail to reach an agreement, the consequences could be dire. A budget impasse could shake the markets, weaken the rand, and even trigger calls for a new election. With so much at stake, the next few days will be critical. What happens next? With the budget vote deadline fast approaching, we can expect last-minute negotiations, political maneuvering, and possibly even some surprises. Will the ANC and DA push through a deal in time? Or will the deep divisions between them prove too much to overcome? One thing is certain: South Africa is at a crossroads, and the decisions made now will shape the country's future. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this partnership can work, or is it only a matter of time before it collapses? Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more updates on South African politics. That's it for today. See you next time.